The Battle of Ullais was fought between the forces of the Rashidun Caliphate and the Sassanid Persian Empire in the middle of May 633 AD in Iraq, and is sometimes referred to as the Battle of Blood River since, as a result of the battle, there were enormous amounts of Sassanian and Arab Christian casualties. Before taking on the Persians, Khalid ibn al-Walid wrote to Hormuz, the Persian governor of the frontier district of Dast Mason, saying, "This was now the last of 4 consecutive battles that were fought between invading Muslims and the Persian army. After each battle the Persians and their allies regrouped and fought again. These battles resulted in the retreat of the Sassanid Persian army from Iraq and its capture by Muslims under the Rashidun Caliphate." Background: after defeat of the Battle of Walajar, Christian Arab survivors of the battle fled from the battlefield, crossed the river Kasif and moved between it and the Euphrates. Their flight ended at Ullais, about 10 miles from the location of the Battle of Walajar. The Muslims were aware of the presence of hostile Arabs at Ullais, but, as they were less numerous and were survivors of Walajar, they never considered them a military threat until they started to regroup and the Muslim commander Khalid ibn Walid was informed about the arrival of more Arab hordes, mainly from the Christian Arab tribe of Bani Bakr. More reinforcements were raised from the Christian Arab tribes in the region between Al-Hira and Ullais. The Rashidun Caliphate army under Khalid crossed the river Kasif and approached Ullais frontally. Emperor Ardshir meanwhile sent orders to Bahman Jadouya to proceed to Ullais and take command of Arab contingents there and stop the Muslims' advance. At Ullais, Bahman sent his senior general Jaban with the imperial army to Ullais with orders to avoid battle until Bahman Jadouya himself arrived. As Jaban set off with the army, Bahman Jadouya returned to Ctesiphon to discuss certain matters with the emperor. He arrived at Ctesiphon to find Emperor Ardshir very ill and remained in attendance on him. By now the Persians and Arabs had realized that the Muslims' objective was Al-Hira. They decided to fight and defeat the Muslims' army. The Christian Arab contingents were under the command of a tribal chief called Abdul Aswad, who had lost his 2 sons in the Battle of Walajar against the Muslims and wanted revenge. The battle. One of the Muslim commanders, Al-Muthanna ibn Haritha, advanced with the light cavalry scouts to the Ullais and informed the Muslim commander-in-chief Khalid ibn Walid of the location of the hostile Arabs. Khalid tried to reach Ullais before the Sassanid army could reinforce them. In order to avoid a battle with an army that would heavily outnumber his own, however, he failed to do so. In order to deny the Persians time to organize and to coordinate their plans, Khalid decided to fight the battle that very same day. According to modern geography, the battlefield lies 25 miles southeast of the Iraqi city of Najaf, and about 4 miles southwest of modern Ash-Sinafia. The Sassanid army and Christian Arabs contingents were camped side by side with the Euphrates to their left, the Kasif to their right and the river junction behind them. Muslim commander-in-chief Khalid ibn Walid arrayed his army in battle formation, appointing Adi ibn Hatim as commander of the right wing and Azam ibn Umar commander of the left wing. Information of the Rashidun Caliphate army's advance reached Jabin a little before midday. It was mealtime and the Persian soldiers were to take their meal, but the Sassanian troops abstained from food so as to display their toughness to the Muslims. Jaban arranged the Sassanid army in great haste before the Muslims could arrive, appointing the Christian Arabs to form the wings of his army, with the tribal chief Abdul Aswad commanding the right wing and the tribal chief Abjar commanding the left wing. The center was formed by the imperial army. The battlefield ran southeast of Ullais between the Euphrates and Kasif. The Persian army was deployed with its back to Ullais, while in front of it was arrayed the Rashidun Caliphate army. The northern flank of both armies rested on the Euphrates and their southern flank on the river Kasif, a distance of about 2 miles. Details of the maneuvers used by Khalid are not recorded by history. Muslim commander-in-chief Khalid ibn al-Walid killed the Christian Arab tribal chief Abdul Aswad in a duel. The fighting was heaviest on the bank of the Kasif. It is mentioned in Muslim chronicles that if ever an army meant to fight it out to the last, it was the imperial army of Ullais. The fierce battle continued for hours. No signs of weakness were shown on either side. Early in the afternoon, the Sassanid Persian army and Arab allies, unable to withstand the veteran Muslim army, finally retreated to the northwest in the direction of Al-Hira, against the Persians and their allies. Khalid ibn al-Walid had always been heavily outnumbered, but understood the concept of desert warfare, and when threatened, his men, who were used to the harsh desert conditions, would withdraw into the desert, where they could not be pursued. The Arab camels drank water less frequently than the Persian horses. Khalid also used the desert for his camel supply line. Arab tribes were the only ones who could interfere with his strategy and defeat him from the rear by disrupting his supply line and stopping his escape routes. Khalid ibn al-Walid feared that these Arab tribes would regroup. Others will also get bribed by the Persians and attack his supply line and close off his escape routes. He also feared that the Persians would regroup and attack his front. They had already fought him in 3 battles, and after each battle regrouped. The Persians had a grand empire for 12 centuries and had lost battles before and risen again. Aftermath. It is said by a Persian Muslim chronicles Tabari that Khalid ibn al-Walid launched his cavalry after them, with orders to capture them. The pursuit by the Muslim cavalry, the capture and the return of the Persian and Arab warriors in small groups, and the killing in the river Kasif, which was actually a small canal used to power a water mill. Then, on the advice of Qa ibn Amr, one of the commanders of the Muslim army, Khalid ordered the dam on the river to be opened. The water then flowed in, thus fulfilling Khalid's oath earlier about running the river with blood of his enemies. After the Battle of Ullais, Khalid ibn al-Walid besieged the city of Al-Hira in May 633. Khalid ibn al-Walid also had a generous side and spared the city and made a deal with them. The inhabitants remained Christian and joined the Islamic State. Khalid ibn al-Walid had the flexibility of mind to adapt to the course that would best further his goal. Modern military theorists consider this the maintenance of the objective. In September 633, Khalid ibn al-Walid made an agreement with Erbil, and Erbil also joined the Islamic State. Khalid ibn al-Walid was generous when dealing with cities and civilians, but ruthless with nomads who fought him with armed combat from behind and tried to cut off his supply lines and escape routes. After the battle, a fine tribute was given by Khalid to the Sassanid Persian army. He said, later in December 633, some Arab tribes assisted by a Persian garrison did exactly what Khalid ibn al-Walid had feared. In Ain al-Tamr, they attacked his supply line, so Khalid ibn al-Walid fought them. Khalid ibn Walid then moved to the siege of Ain al-Tamr and made a pact with them too. With the fall of the main cities, the whole of southern and central Iraq came under Muslim control. In 634 AD, Abu Bakr ordered Khalid ibn Walid to proceed to Syria with half of his army to command the invasion of the Byzantine Empire. Musnad bin Haris was left as the successor of Khalid. The Persians, under their new emperor Yazid III, regrouped, concentrated new armies and defeated the Muslims in the Battle of the Bridge, and recaptured Iraq. The second invasion of Iraq was undertaken under Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, who, after defeating the Sassanid army at the Battle of al-Qadisiyah in 636 AD, captured Ctesiphon. This was followed by the whole-scale invasion of the Sassanid Persian Empire.